The teachings of Islam tell us that we cannot break a branch for no purpose. We cannot harm each other, nor animal, no plant or tree. And that means we should be part of climate action. My name is Alrubai and I am a high school maths and science teacher. The community that I'm part of is the Western Sydney migrant community, in particular the Arabic background community. And our traditional attitudes towards climate action is that we don't have an attitude towards it. Thank you. Now that second generations and third generations are coming up, we have the time and we can afford to make this a priority now, and we should be making it a priority.
Let's take a look at the weather now and the critical forecast for the coming hours and days. Penrith getting its hottest day on record at 48.9 degrees.
A lot of the effects felt by these recent climate events are in Western Sydney, and we do feel the brunt of it. So that's why a lot of the action is starting to come out of Western Sydney. The Western Sydney areas are much more hotter than the coastal areas, which makes sense, but also when we have the bushfires, the Blue Mountains area gets hit pretty badly as well. I'm a person of action, and noticing the climate action space didn't have people like me in that space. I thought, well, if not me, then who? And I thought, okay, that's it. I have to join something. I have to do something. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming today. So we're just going to have a quick Northwest meeting catch up because I am part of the Voices of Power campaign, which is a coalition of diverse communities and groups working together to provide clean and affordable energy for all.
We used it for the tabletop last year.
Okay.
You see the photos?
I joined Voices of Power because my dad was already a part of the campaign, and seeing him in the 2018 conference made me want to sign up to their call to action.
Is there any relation in our religion, Islam, or not with the environment?
It's part of my faith. Part of my faith to make awareness about the climate change.
Allahu Akbar.
I believe it's important. More than that, I believe it's a duty, a religious duty for everyone, every imam, every priest, every rabbi, every religious person should move hardly in this path, because it's the future for our next generation.
Allahu Akbar.
Summer 2019, it was the worst.
My brother, who's 24, a very healthy person, never had any previous health issues, got very sick during the bushfire season, and that was because he developed some respiratory issues that he didn't realize was due to the bushfires.
Yeah, at some point in time I actually started getting sick, and it affected my sleeping. Breathing in those fumes for such a long time during the day made it harder to breathe, and so I was breathing more heavily. So I had to get checked into a hospital so they could monitor my heart rate and see what sort of effect this had on me. I think if a person like me with no history of illness can get something like this, then I think it's a big risk for a lot of people.
Honestly, solar should be this resource that is accessible for all. Clean and affordable energy relates to climate action because it's something that we can all get on board. Everyone wants to pay their bills, but at the same time, want concrete steps to a cleaner future. The idea is a solar garden. And I think that is a great way to get our community involved because it is relevant to them.
What motivates Zubaida is her compassion and her love for her community. She hears a lot of these stories of hardship in her community firsthand. And so she knows what it's like to be dealing with unaffordable power bills or dealing with debt collectors. And she's like on the ground helping those communities to deal with these pressures.
Good evening, my name is Muhammed, representing the Catholic Diocese of Parramatta and the Filipino community.
In the Voices for Power campaign, we had the annual conference in 2019, and I was the co-chair along with my fellow colleague Michal Levy from the Jewish community. And we were both co-chairing the conference as a way to get people to come together again.
I'm from Emmanuel Synagogue and I'm representing the Jewish community for Voices for Power.
Seeing our peers and our allies standing together, that's the most powerful image for a lot of people who come to these gatherings.
I think it does send quite a message to have someone from a Muslim background and a Jewish background together as co-chairs, because you don't tend to see those kind of faces together, and it's important to show solidarity together, that regardless of background or where you're coming from, this is an issue for all of us. Attitudes are changing. I do believe that, because the spaces which were predominantly dominated by other types of communities are starting to have more of our faces in it. So we are starting to be more involved in that space and in that narrative. What I hope for the future for my community is that we are a permanent member of the space, we are part of the narrative, and we are active members in taking climate action.
She will not give up. I know my daughter. She will continue and not give up.
You know, her as a teacher, she's forming the minds of our future generations, but also as a community leader here and working with us in Voices for Power, I see her motivation to be in this for the long haul and to really create change.
You have to bring all the community with you, because it's not just my problem. It's the community problem. It's Australia problem. It's the planet problem, my friend.
It is something that I am very passionate about and driven for, so it's definitely worth it.